let's go. Let me show you what's occurring. I'd like to show this first slide. Well, this is what's happening through the whole country, through the world actually. I stood in front of a large group of organic folks and I made this statement in front of 2,000 people. That we have had more destruction. Well, I'm skipping. Let's go right here and I'll show you what I shared with them. I want you to see that picture in 2016. That is Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see all the college degrees and replicators plots blowing? Can you see the billions of dollars that we have spent? People get mad when I tell them that way. But I'm proving a point here. Look at our. If you think that technology and science is going to fix this, you are sadly mistaken. We've had the best science in the world since the 1930s. This is a cultural, social, spiritual issue, not just a scientific issue. Science built on the wrong premise. Look at this, that's 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Colorado 2014. That's 1935. That was actually done in a complete organic system. There was no chemicals at that time. And I stood in front of 2,000 organic people and I said, guess what? You're not sustainable either. Most of our destruction of our planet was done under an organic system of overgrazing and tillage. In fact, if you look at all of Africa, all of Saudi Arabia, there was once green. We've destroyed it because of lack of understanding. It's the hearts and mind again. Oh, by the way, Derek, that's beloved 50, 60 inches of rain in Arkansas. That is a land leveling activity they do for flood irrigation, and the NRCS pays for that. We pay for that. I got kicked out of Wisconsin because I made this, the state con got really mad because I said, our lakes and rivers are filled with nutrient and conservation plans, but not clear with understanding. He was pissed. Kicked Ray out. And guess what? 3 months later, the farmers, the ranchers, and DNR, and everybody wants me back. I took that picture, ladies and gentlemen, as I was flying, and I took that on my iPhone. I took that picture. This is our country. This is the reality of it. Because I don't have time for this climatic thing, we'll go. Because I want to show you more. Because I've got a limited time. Okay, let's go here. This is what I'm teaching. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 8 principles. NRCS teaches 4. I teach 8. Reduce your disturbance, cover the soil, grow a living root, synergize with diversity, integrate animals. And here's my first one. Context. My slate got messed up here. Understand social context, ecological context, psychological context, even understand the farmer's spiritual context. Context. It is so critical. If you go to southern Indiana where it's all Germanic people, predominantly Germans, you know what the context is there? The soil must be black. And culturally, if you are not tilling and the soil is black, what happens to you, Chris?
You're ostracized.
You are ostracized. It is a social issue. It is a cultural issue. I had a no-tiller from Idaho said he could not go to the local coffee shop because they would blast him. And he was no-till. He said, you are destroying the land. Yeah. Human integrity. We cannot build ecological integrity without human integrity. It's not happening. What does the integrity mean? Integrity means soundness of mind. You've got to be a student. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to be willing to withstand the mocking of the neighbors. It takes integrity to do that. And the last one, adaptive management, holistic. Okay, folks. When I came out of, I was part of the Soil Health Division. This is what we were all taught in college. We were taught physical, chemical, biological. This is Soil and Organic Management Center. I don't agree with this. This is wrong. They're not equal importance. You know, when you have circles, centric circles, and all they equal the same size, they're saying they're equal value. They are not equal value. Let me give you an explanation. This is Mars, chemical, physical. This is Earth, chemical, physical. What's the difference between the two?
One has life, one doesn't.
Biology. They were never the same. They are not equal value. If I take soil biology out, and if I take plant biology, what do we have, Chris?
Geology.
We have stinking geology. When the word soil comes out, if biology is not the first word out of your mouth, you don't understand soil function. Biology changes the physical. It changes the chemistry. We were never taught that. Okay, now, show how powerful it is. This book is a wonderful book, The Biosphere. It's called by Vladimir Vernadsky. The Russians were so far ahead of us when it came to soil biology. In fact, the father of microbiology was a Russian. He said the greatest geological force is life itself. So I'm going to ask you something, sir. What is your name?
Maury.
Maury?
Maury.
Maury. Maury. Does that plant survive that rock? How come it's growing out of that rock? How is it surviving? Guys? Why? That's a compaction issue. Farmers, I tell them, that's a compaction issue. What are you going to do? What do farmers do with compaction? Tail it deeper, baby. I don't see that big plume of smoke coming out of my John Deere. How is it surviving that? Because you know that plant is incredibly arbuscular mycorrhizal fungus. Did you know those fungus can actually excrete these powerful enzymes and bore into the rock? They bore into the rock to build the mineral out. Bacteria can dissolve rock. Whoa, whoa. They do that. This is Australia. You think it sucks to farm in some parts of the country? Try farming in Australia. That's an old calcium seabed. Alex, how come it's dark up here?
Life.
You got it, mister. See what a quick learner you are? How in the world did it get dark like that? The microbes did that. Life did that. That's what we forgot. That's why they left me out of my college. They forgot the most important part. Soil's a stinking alive. It's breathing. It's a living organism because of them. Look at this here. This is a compost layer. Look how fast earthworms can change. Can you imagine if you're putting cover crops and you're feeding them throughout the year? Look what the earthworms do. That's called bioturbation. Let them do that. Look what they do that. If you have a problem with your fields breaking down, residue, you know what you have? You have a biology problem. Chemistry is not going to fix it. And people, what do farmers throw? Look at this one here. This is what we're about. These are protozoa grazing around an air bubble eating bacteria. These protozoa, when they eat bacteria, they release nitrogen. We can get anywhere from 17 to 115 pounds of N just through microorganisms eating each other. Whoa! And you have to buy fertilizer. But what do they need? Living roots. Okay? Now look at this one. This is one of my favorite. This was taken in Quebec by, what's her name? Odette. One of my favorite pictures. This is Odette's. She went in with a special camera at night, and she took a special, look at these earthworms. I never knew. This is a no-till field. It's not supposed to work that far north. No-till's not supposed to work that far north. Look at that. Alex, that's why I never go by myself to my no-till garden at night. I carry a small handgun. They will take you out. Do you know why they push that residue down? They put it in the wormhole, so they're farming, so that the bacteria break it down, so that they can come in there and go, suck the organisms. They don't care about the residue. They're breaking it down so they can eat the organisms that feed on the residue. You know what they're doing? Farming. Ah, very cool. Now, let me show you. This is your soil without biology. This is the way it looks. Everybody's soil, I don't care where you're on the planet, that's geology. Now you put life into it. Those are the biotic substances. Those are the glues that impregnate the geology. They are the ones that hold the calciums. They're the ones that hold the trace minerals. They're the whole, they hold everything. Some even say it has memory, that it can occlude salts and toxins. Very cool. This is the underground freeway. Look at the biology here. This is called arbuscular mycorrhizae. They're the ones that get you through a drought. They help bring phosphorus to the plant. They increase the surface area of the roots by 20-fold, 100-fold. They're the ones that get you the drought. Now, what do they not like? Too much over application of manures with too much phosphorus. Over 200 pounds of P, you shut the arbuscular mycorrhizae down. Too much phosphorus, too much fungicide, hurt it. Tillage hurts that system. Okay? Those are the glues, how they coat it. It's the fungus that create those glues we talked about. Now, a lot of people argue about, well, no-till, I'm not going to do no-till because it's too cold, right, Chris? This is France. Look how far north that is. This is no-till right next to it, and conventional right next to it. So, Dwayne, tell me, how come there's snow on top of the conventional and not the no-till?
Good question.
Life.
Yeah.
There's more organisms here.
It froze off.
Yeah, they're breathing.
Don't they go to sleep, you know, at a certain temperature?
We thought those things can go way down in temperature. They go. They're still surviving. You don't have complete death of the microbe. If they did, life would cease to exist on this planet. They'll go to a really dormant state. But look at here. 24 degrees. That's 4 degrees Celsius. That's below freezing. And guess what they're doing? They're still giving off CO2. Look at here. Cover crops, 68 degrees, no covers. 66 degrees, that armor. Oh no, but it's too cold to have that armor. Okay? Now, let me show you what farmers are doing, okay? We're going to skip here. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. And we'll show how farmers are doing this. This is what we're trying to accomplish. This is a slow action camera filming a root giving off liquid sun. That's our job, folks. Get farmers to do more of this. Corn and soybean do this. It's not enough. We've got to cover the ground at the end of the year. Do not leave it bare. Because you leak. You're not feeding the soil. If a person wants to go continuous corn, he can. Continuous corn, multi-species mix. Corn, multi-species mix. You're good. You plant a 5, 7, 8 waves by putting 8 rotations within a period of time and space. Remember, plant and soil are one. When I first learned that, I was incredible. I was so excited. I came out of the house. I go, man, soil, plant and one. My wife thought I was doing drugs. I said, this is exciting because do not separate them. Okay, so what we're going to do is, what we're teaching producers is, if you don't have covers, you leak in the spring, you leak sun, you leak nutrients. Leak sun, leak nutrients. Once you get your corn and soybean, now we want to do this. Cover the leaks. Cover the stinking leaks. This is how farmers are doing it. What is that? Audience? It's not just a sprayer. When I showed this in organic, you know what the organic people said? That's a cancer machine. And the audience started laughing, and I said, that cancer machine is throwing cover crop seed. And the whole audience goes, oh, deflated their bubble. I said, look what farmers are doing. Why would they spend $250,000 for a machine like that or more? Because why? They're doing this. Look at their building. They're doing this. Look at that. For this. Outstanding corn. They put a cover. And as they're harvesting, covers, once they harvest, the corn's up. I mean, the cover crop's up. Look what we're doing in Tennessee. This used to be all no-till. This is one of my top DCs in the country. He's Adam Daugherty. He's got 40% of his county covered in his cover crop. 40% of his county is covered like this. They are planting corn and soybean into that. So what are they doing right away? When they lay that thing down, they create their armor. We no longer have problems with pigweed. Pigweed was destroying the South. Wow, we got pigweed under control. We created an armor, we're feeding biology, we're capturing sun, we're creating water cycle working, we've got the nutrient cycle working, and we got diversity. That's an 8-way mix. Guess what's happened to their soils? I'll show you a picture in a little while. Look at that one. We're no-tilling right into that. Roller. Beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than planting into an armor and mimicking nature. That is mimicking nature to the max. And that blanket has saved them 50 to 70% of their herbicide costs. Planting corn. Look at this is my first year farmer. This is Cole Sims. In an area that gets 65 inches dirt. 65 inches! And guess what? They're irrigating. Do you know why they're irrigating? The soil's destroyed. All the water's running out. And our citizens paying for it. Mike Taylor, Helena, Texas. Arkansas. That's his first armor. He's growing 90-day corn. 90-day corn in southern Arkansas, and he should be growing 120, 130-day corn. His 90-day corn is producing, no, in fact, I think it's 86-day corn, producing 170 bushel. No, 185. Not supposed to work. In fact, he had to sign a waiver to the seed company because the seed company said it's going to fail. Why is he doing that? Because he wants a long span so he can graze his cows right afterwards. Integrating both systems. This is my roller. It's my daughter's Jetta. That was my yard back in North Carolina. That's my 10th of an acre farm. Look how that diesel just rolled there. I was offsetting my carbon footprint. I did that. I rolled that. My lawnmower went down. I used my daughter's Jetta. And then rolled the cover. Now look at this. This is my planter. Daughter, very unhappy wife. She's my down pressure. We're planting sweet corn right into that armor. What I love about it, now we're doing it on a large scale. Look at the rollers here for irrigation. This is Cole Sims. His corn's popping right out of it. Came out beautiful. Can't see the corn right here, but it's popping right out of here. Look at this garden. Lady using a 2x4. The 2x4 with a rope. How much horsepower do you need to roll covers? 1. The Amish are doing it. Look at this. This is Adam's hand. Look at the corn popping right out of that armor. Keeping it cool, suppressing the weeds. It's beautiful. We're doing it on tobacco. We're doing it on cotton. Look at the weed suppression in the cotton. Look at here. Beautiful. Look at that corner. That armor. Adam. That young man, one talk he heard me, changed him completely. Look at a passionate young man. No-till with covers, just no-till. Side by side. These both have been no-till for 20 or 30 years. Look at his soil content. No-till without covers, with covers. Look at the soil temperatures. Look at the difference in the soils. This is no-till by itself. Corn and soybean. Look at the stratification. Look at that crappy soil. Now look at it with 2 years of covers. It made a huge difference. It's changed everything. Now, we're almost wrapped up. Desert pencil out. This is Rodney Rulon. They farm 6,000 acres in Indiana. He's an agronomist. He's probably one of the better no-tillers around. Really good operation. He did this. He says, ever since we started use covers, reduce equipment cost, $40, reduce fertilizer cost, 25 per acre, increase yields, drought tolerance, not counted, erosion, priceless, impact. Total advantage with covers is $101.34 an acre. Times 6,000, that's $608,000 economic difference. Does it pencil out to do no-till coverage? Absolutely. Economically, it pencils out. This young man is pretty impressive. His name is Russell Hendrick, North Carolina. Oh, by the way, he never grew up on the farm. This young man is 6'8". He's a big boy. That is in soybean that had less than 5 to 6 inches of rain. North Carolina, I don't care what we do, but from June to August, the spigot goes off. They get 45 inches of rain. So it's relative. If you have only 11 inches during the whole summer, that's all you get. Look at that armor that he has there. This young man won last year's yield contest. He never grew up on the farm. He didn't pick up a bunch of bad habits. He learned from our videos. Look what he did. His average yield for North Carolina, and they are not Iowa soils. Your soils inherently are way better than North Carolina soils. They are hardly weathered over there. Their soils are not good soils. Look at his average yield, 214. Best dry land yield. He won North Carolina's dry land yield contest, 318 bushel. Oh, by the way, the irrigated came at 319. Irrigation really helped. His cost per acre, county average is 120. Okay, last one. You're going to see him, Adam, coming tomorrow. He's going to be at the field day. He watched our videos. And here's this young man. There he is. This young man is a 4th generation farmer. He's got a BS in botany in Arkansas State, MS in entomology. He farms up close to 9,000 acres. He currently has 8,000 acres covered in cover crops. 5 years ago, he went and listened to Gabe Brown, Dave, myself, went to YouTube. I said, Adam, why did you do that? He said, we were going broke. We were going broke. He didn't even come to a seminar. He learned it on YouTube, and he planted 8,000 acres of covers. This young man now has reduced his cost. He used to borrow $5.4 million to farm every year. He now borrows 2.7. He said, next year, Dad, he says, Ray, I'm going to have my dad paid off. He says, now I'm going to try to bring sheep into the operation. He's going to start owning a majority of that land. I personally believe that. This young man has an entomology degree. I says, well, Adam, what finally turned? He says, so what did your entomology professor tell you? He says, Adam, I'm just waiting for you to go broke. See, because the covers are going to bring all those pests and all those diseases. So how did you respond back to him? He goes, I told my professor, I don't get my research money from Monsanto. My brother and I do the research. His tillage costs were $125 an acre just for tillage. His irrigation costs are another $150 an acre. And they get 60 inches of rain. Do you see why they were going broke? They can outcompete anybody. They have the soils down there. They have the water. They have the climate. They can grow green all years around.